Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your hostess, Paulette Rees-Denis, your movement motivator and your passion instigator, and here to bring you inspiring stories from entrepreneurs, artists, healers from around the globe to inspire you to step fuller and bigger into your own creativity, your own life, to heal, to share, to enjoy. I thank you for being here. Well, hello there, my friends in Heart and Hustle land. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your tribal hostess, Paulette Rees-Denis, your creativity business coach, movement motivator, passion instigator, and I love bringing you delicious innovators from around the globe. Today we have the honor of having Wendy Hughes here from Wales. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you very much.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see you. It's been so long. Excited to have you here on the show and hear about your journey, your business, your dance, your teaching, your personal journey of where you are now.
Right, okay.
So for those of you who don't know Wendy is a retired nurse from Wales who I have known for
2009 when we first met.
Wow. Okay, so we're on 11 years. Wow. 11 years. She started her dance journey with me. But you weren't even a retired nurse then at the point, right?
No. I've only retired a few years.
Yeah.
I
So
still work full time.
So what I really love about having you here today is we're both um, beautiful crones. We're both aging women in this creative field of dance and creativity and business as well. You've retired from one profession and you've created another profession,
Yes.
which I love. And you are teaching dance and you are traveling and you've traveled a lot with me. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Right. Well, as I said, I first met you in 2009 when you came over to the UK and you were teaching at one of our local festivals at Glastonbury. And I went into this workshop and I'd been dancing for about 8 or 9 years, the Oriental style.
Belly dancing.
In
Belly
belly
dancing.
dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good, but it was great, but it wasn't me. I was trying to settle into something and it just wasn't quite happening. Well, then I did a workshop with you and I thought, hello, this is different. I like that. I knew that there was tribal belly dance, but I didn't know there were different styles of tribal belly dance at that time. And in our part of the world, there's very little tribal belly dance. In fact, there's so little tribal belly dance that I'm the only global caravan teacher in Wales. Which is great. But I wish there were more to join me. But having said that, yeah. So I thought, well, I've got to get more of this. So off I went, and YouTube is a wonderful thing. The internet has opened up so many opportunities. It's fabulous, and now we've got this Zoom as well. It's wonderful. So
incredible.
I looked up, and I was very, very lucky that I found all of your DVDs in one batch. So and they were over in America, and they came over to me, and I studied these, I devoured these, and I met Steffi Colbert.
Yes.
She was down in Bournemouth, Eastbourne at that time, and I saw this woman walk into one of your classes because I came to another workshop, and Steffi came in, and she had this big top hat on, and she was such a majestic figure. She was wonderful. So I spent the summer or traveling back and forth to see her, and she encouraged me to do my training. So I came over to see you in Milan in Italy in 2011, and I got my collective soul level 1 and my teacher training 1, and I came home and Topaz Tribal was born
Nice.
because I'd just done my training. It was November. My birthday's in November, and Topaz is my birthstone.
Love
It
it.
just seemed to happen.
Love it. So I'm curious. So let's back up just a little bit. So you were still nursing.
Oh, full time, yeah.
And so what was the impetus for you to dive into dance? What was it that you were wanting to follow?
In belly dance or
Yeah, I mean,
caravan?
why you've been nursing for so long, so changing careers or changing desires or adding to, what was it you were looking for, or what was feeding you at that time?
Well, 20 years ago when I first discovered belly dance, it was curiosity because we were having holidays in Turkey and I hadn't seen a live belly dancer, to be honest. I hadn't been to Egypt at that time. Um, anyway, so there was a workshop in my town, so I went and I was hooked. I walked in, it was the music, the skirts that Rachel, my teacher then, was wearing, it was the movements, it was the flow, it just hit me here. And as I say, so time progressed, and then I discovered there was a different style. Well, then I was injured in work, and things changed work-wise. I was lucky that my injury wasn't more serious, because working in the mental health profession, we do have violent occasions. And I was injured. I was out of work, in and out of work. I had a couple of months off, and I went back in. I damaged my shoulder, and it was quite badly damaged, and it took a while to heal.
Oh, hush. Hold on one second. I'll cut that out. It's not supposed to happen. Okay.
Okay. But my shoulder took sort of 2 to 3 years to heal. And I honestly thought at one point that I would never be free of pain, that I would never be free of any medication.
Wow.
The only exercise I was allowed to do was belly dance, because of the physio with the movements is very similar to what we do. So I was allowed to carry on with that. But I, at the time, was weight training. I was in the gym. I was doing step aerobics, a whole load of different stuff. All that went out the window overnight. So I concentrated then on my belly dance as part of my physio and recovery. I think it took about 3 to 4 years, but I was finally free of medication. I don't take anything. And I know when I've done too much, because, if I haven't stretched out properly, because I will get pain in my shoulder, down my neck. But, touch wood, I'm pain free as well 99% of the time.
Awesome.
And it went on from there, really. My teacher sort of gave up the class that she was teaching in my town and asked me to take over. So I went into it by accident, teaching side of it by accident. And I love it. I love it. I had started teaching in work as part of my job. We were teaching people how to deal with violence and aggression. And if they had to get out of a violent situation, a physical violence situation, we were teaching people, the moves, how to get out. And so the teaching side of it, I had a little bit of, and then I developed it. So I did a course. I didn't do a full teacher to become a proper teacher, but I did a component course, which enabled me to be teaching in community centres and further education, and sort of anybody aged over 14. So that helped. And then, as I say, I met Steffi, and she encouraged me to do my teacher training. So I was already teaching the 1 class a week, belly dance class. And once I got my training, I converted my class over to tribal. That was the thing where I went from belly dance over to tribal, and purely over to Gypsy Caravan as it was then, but it's now Global Caravan. And gone on from there. And it gets you in here. It's all encompassing. It's just there. I can't imagine a day going by without me thinking of some music, dance, doing something,
So
planning.
what do you think that is, Wendy? What is that?
I've no idea. It just gets into me, into my soul. It's under my skin.
So it's something that feeds you, that is part of your creative process internally and then externally, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in my career, I suppose I've always been told what to do. I've always
Mm.
had to follow rules. I've always been contained. I've always, we have to look after somebody, and help them on their way. But this is different. This is mine. This is for me. I'm helping me to help other people.
So it
Um,
starts with you, and then the vision for yourself is to spread it out.
oh, I love it when I get into class and the light bulb comes on, the light bulb moment, and they're like, oh, I got it now. And it's brilliant. And it's just that's what makes it worthwhile. There's no amount of money can value that. It's
Yeah.
it's just a wonderful feeling.
And so let's talk about that feeling a little bit more. So not only as the teacher and the student, but it's bringing people together,
Yeah,
right? And what else? What else do you feel?
it's the community, it's the friendship, it's belonging together, it's trust,
That's a
it's
big one.
believing in yourself and believing in each other, and knowing that it's a safe environment.
And why do you think that's so important right now?
Well, I think it's always important to have a safe environment for you to feel free, for you to
Mm,
feel yourself, to be able to express yourself in whatever way you choose and not be judged.
yeah. Oh, that's a big one, right? To not be judged, to not judge yourself,
Yeah,
nor to
yeah,
fear judgment from others.
yeah,
That's huge. That's huge.
it is.
Yeah. To be able to look at yourself in the mirror and love who you are and where you are in the world.
Yeah.
And that's
Taken me a
and
while
that's
to
the
get there.
yeah. And that's the other thing that I love, you know, um, about what you're doing, about what I'm doing. Like I said earlier, we're both, you know, women who are growing older gracefully and powerfully and amazingly, and leading the tribes with inspiration as an older woman, as a, in your case, retired from that position that you did for so many years, corporate nursing, whatever you want to call it, into this creative zone of power and beauty, and continuing to, you are an inspiration because you are continuing to grow and expand, and you never stop your learning, right?
No, you never ever stop learning. Every day is a new day, and there's always something to learn every day.
Yeah.
And I tell my students, when they come to class, and we drill a lot. We drill till you get the moves, till it becomes natural in your body, till you can dance and not think about what you're doing, and that's when you get the freedom. And I just say to people, well, to the ladies, well, you may have done this before, but try and look at it with different eyes, because you will learn something differently. And if you only take one thing away from you, with you tonight, job done.
Mm,
Because we've all got something to learn all the time. We never stop learning.
mm, I love that. And so what do you think your role is now? How do you see yourself as you progressed over the years?
Um, to be there, to help the others, anybody that wants to take the same path or take a similar path or develop and become a teacher. We haven't got enough teachers within our dance style.
We're working on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I meuld love to have more people. There's only my tribe, my troop, that have a collective soul. So there's 6 of us, 7 of us that have got collective soul all together. We'd love more. Where are you, peoples? Please come and join us.
So, but like on a more, what am I thinking of? Like a deeper, more spiritual or physical or emotional path. What is it that you are bringing to these women?
At this particular moment in time, with the conditions that we have, I started Zoom class. Well, I started on Facebook Live like everybody did last year, I think, when the first lockdown hit in March last year. And I quickly went over to Zoom. That's another learning curve. And I did it purely to keep my classes going, to keep my hand in teaching so that I didn't dry up, that I didn't lose my momentum. I didn't realize how quickly it had become that there are so many ladies throughout the UK that depend on me for these classes to help them through a very difficult time. Some of them have suddenly found themselves at home all day. They've been, sort of in lockdown. They can't go out to work. And others, this is a good point of contact. It's good to feel that we're all together. I don't know whether the vibes come through on the airwaves. I'm hoping that they do. I've just done a new choreo for the troupe, and we did it on Tuesday, and the ending of it makes me cry.
Oh,
I can't begin to imagine what's going to happen when we all get together in the same room.
Love
it's
that.
Going to be a wash, but they loved it. But it's that feeling, knowing that you can bring people together and we can support each other and we can continue and we will get through this together. I didn't realize how important it was until I had the comments coming in when I had a break for the summer, because I was doing 5 classes a week, and I was exhausted. And I had a break. I had a month off in August, and I had presents sent me. I had wonderful cards and comments, and I spent the whole of August in a tearful bit of a state, really. Quite emotional that way.
Well, I mean, and that's so beautiful on so many levels. It's one, it's great that you took the time off for yourself.
I knew I had to.
Because that's super important.
Yeah.
And that somehow, because not everybody does this, somehow your people responded physically. I mean, taking the time to thank you and to acknowledge you and to say what they've been missing or loving or what you've done or helped with, all of those little languages. But what I love about that is that they actually stopped to take the time to do it.
One lady even made me a miniature mini me.
Oh, I saw that picture. Oh my gosh. Isn't that so amazing?
I opened up this box and it was like, that was, and orchid sent me, mini orchid sent.
That's so beautiful. And that's what I mean is like, it's a lesson for all of us to stop and take time to be full of gratitude, to take time to acknowledge those who inspire us as we inspire others, to take time. And even if it could be this connection like this, or it could be a Facebook message, or it could be a physical, dolly that they made of you. But some people think it and don't act on it, right? So I love that there's that momentum that you've created that can be continuous, even in this crazy time that we're in. That's so beautiful, Wendy. Oh, God, I'm such a proud grandmother. Maybe I'm a great grandmother at this point, but or a great, I don't know.
My mother at the moment.
but and so And again, and I'll say this again, and you probably don't really even like me saying this, but I love that as a crone, we're continuing on, and that we can show that we can continue on. And it's important that we continue on. We don't stop.
No.
That you continue your inspiration, you continue to do the work you love, you continue to expand your own self-knowledge, your own education, um, and bring your passion, to others. And it's your own inner creation and your own inner spirit of expression, as well as what you do to the outside world, right?
Yeah.
I just have to take a deep breath. So what do you have to say about all that?
I don't think of it as doing anything special.
Mhm.
I am doing this for me as well as for them, but I just didn't realize the impact I would have. And I do get choked. I do get very choked with it, because I think I didn't realize what a huge thing I'm doing. I have to be told it's a huge thing, because it's like, oh, that's great. I'm really pleased that I've helped you. But I didn't realize how deep it went,
Yeah.
and how deep it is going, because I'm still continuing.
Well, and you're just following your passion, right?
Yeah. And I've gone back into tribal grooves again now, and that's like fab.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's another form of the global caravan, tribal belly dance format that's more about divine feminine fitness. It's
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. uh,
Well, I did the class on Saturday, and I do a month's choreos. I do the same format every month, but it's slightly different every week. We drill, but it's and I keep saying to the ladies how clever this formula, this format that you've developed is. Not only is it very slow and very deliberate and very passionate inside, it's upbeat and it's funky and it's fast. But then when you get to certain sections and you can, a lot of the moves are developed. Like, what about camel one, for instance? What a stretch you can get with that when you go right up on your tippy toes and stretch right out. And I say to the ladies, use these moves and stretch, because some of the moves might be slow, but you're working hard and you're working deep.
mm.
And it just gets me every time. It's just such a clever, clever format.
Well, thank you for that. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're diving into it and spreading that love. Um, I think it's for everybody, but that would be me. Um, so uh, okay, let's go into the business aspect a little bit. So you've again retired from that job and made this your job, although it's your, would you call it your side hustle? Would you call it your hobby? What would you call it?
It's more of a hobby to me.
Okay. But you're making money on it. You're spending money on it.
Yes, I spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah. So it's still a business
Yeah.
on some level, and that's really important. And that's the thing that I'm always trying to say, is that us women need to acknowledge the fact that we can do this. We can self-educate, we can spend money on ourself and our education, and we can put it out there to the world, and we can make money on what we do. And to not acknowledge that is just not okay. We are women, and we are here to, you know,
Yeah.
show up and do the work. So what do you think has been the hardest thing for you?
The hardest thing for me, um, learning some of the goddamn moves.
As opposed to the business aspect.
I know it's just sort of gently ticked over and gone along. I mean, I know I've spent a lot of money sort of traveling and training. Um, the hardest thing sometimes is getting people in for them to understand what it is that I'm doing,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
not everybody in the UK gets it.
Hmm.
You mentioned the word belly dance, and some people fall about laughing, and then you say tribal belly dance, and they've got all sorts of visions coming up with all the voodoo masks and red ribbons
Yeah.
and everything. They tribal, you think of, think of the warriors, and you think, you spend a lot of time trying to explain and dispel a lot of the myths. I think that's
Mm,
one of the hardest parts, actually.
okay. Yeah.
Aside from the business, that is one of the hardest parts for me. Is trying to make people understand it's not what you think it is. It's a dance. At the end of the day, it's dancing. It's movement. It's for the body. It's for the soul. It encompasses it works everything: your mind, your
Mm,
body, your spirit.
mm. Love that. I love that. Yeah, I hear you. And I mean, imagine me 30 years ago.
Yeah,
But uh and you're just cruising. You're just doing it. You've got your classes in Wales, and then you get to travel and go do some workshops, and you've got some online classes happening now, of course, because of COVID.
yeah.
And you've traveled and been part of.
I've been to Morocco, and I've taught in Morocco. My husband and I adore Egypt. We love Egypt. In fact, we should actually be on the Nile right now,
Mm.
for our 30th anniversary, but it'll wait. We'll get there. And where else have I been? I've been to Milan in Italy to see you twice. I've come to America to see you twice, Rhode Island and Florida.
Yeah.
Traveled the UK. I took my car in last week for its annual sorting out, and he said, "You haven't done much mileage now, have you?" And I said, "No."
Not this year.
Do you know, I was doing more mileage than I was when I was working. Traveling the UK, going to various weekends and whatever it is I'm doing, it's the mileage I clock up is ridiculous. But considering I'm retired,
Yeah.
but I
Wow.
love it.
Well, so much more to come.
Oh
You're
gosh, yes.
you are such an inspiration, and thank you for spending time with me.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Great to know what you're up to and how you are continuing on, and again inspiring others and living your passions, dreams, and and just doing your thing. And being part of our beautiful global tribe.
Yes, yes. Well, I feel a little bit isolated because as a teacher, you just become, it just becomes a bit of a treadmill sometimes of, that's all I seem to
Mm,
be doing, especially now at the moment. It's
yeah.
4 classes a week, and that's all I'm thinking about really. So I'm trying to find some classes I can join. So I've found some yoga that's just my level. So I've done some yoga this evening, and I'm gonna update myself with you next week on one
I
of the classes,
know. It's excited
and
for
that
that.
so that I can get together with you and with others, and we can dance, because I know that now this online training will be a little bit different to what I've had previously.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to the changes in that and seeing what comes out of that.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Well, thank you. Wendy Hughes from Wales here with us. Thank you,
Thank you very
everybody
much.
out in Heart and Hustle Land. I am Paulette Rees-Denis, and I thank you for spending another episode with us. Let us know if you have any questions or thoughts or comments. We'd love to know what this inspires in you and what you're thinking. And until we meet again, many blessings. Mwah.
Thank you.